Alrighty, folks, welcome to my Major League Baseball free pick video here today for Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024. Happy Tuesday to you. Hopefully you had a great start to your week. And of course, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. And if you want to see which one of these free plays on this video that I actually like the best, you may want to think about signing up for my daily best play on my premium page. It costs just 6 cents a day for 30 days worth of plays. And with that, folks, we're going to dive right into some free content. We're going to start off with the Orioles at the Marlins. That'll be a 6:40 Eastern first pitch. Baltimore's the $1.70 favorite on the road here. Total's 8.5. Looks like Albert Suarez on the mound for the O's. Kyle Tyler for Miami. Now, the Marlins have been, terrible against the American League all season long. Out of 20 interleague home games, the Fish got the W only 6 times. And at the plate, they've been just pathetic this year. They're currently the lowest run-scoring team in the National League. They're facing Albert Suarez, who's 5-3 on the year for the O's with an ERA in the 2s. And at the plate, Baltimore continues to pound the baseball on the road. They're currently the highest run-producing team on the road in the major leagues. Gunnar Henderson's got the 3rd most homers in the majors, 7th highest OPS. And Anthony Santander's 5th in the bigs in home runs himself, 66 RBI on the year. Give me Baltimore minus 170, under 8.5. Next game, Tigers, Guardians, 6:40 Eastern first pitch. Cleveland's $1.35, totals 8.5. Xavier Curry for the Guardians, Joey Wentz for Detroit. And through nearly 40 innings of work this year, the lefty Wentz has an ERA of 5.22. Of course, at the plate, the Tigers are definitely having trouble getting on base. They really don't walk a whole lot, and they are a bottom 10 hit-producing team. And they could potentially have their hands full today with a Cleveland squad who's winning nearly 70% of their interleague home games. And a lot of that has to do with these bats. The Guardians are in the top 5 in the American League in runs per game at home. Steven Kwan's got the highest qualifying batting average in the major leagues. Jose Ramirez has the 2nd most RBI. Now, 3 out of the Guardians' last 4 home games did fall under the total. They also went 60% to the under in their last 10 at any location. Give me the Guardians minus 135, under 9. Next game, little divisional action here. Cardinals, Pirates, 6:40 Eastern start time. Pittsburgh's minus $1.80. Total is 8 runs. Paul Skeens for the Pirates. Lance Lynn for St. Louis. And obviously both pitchers with some real good stuff going on here this year. Skeens is 6-0 with an ERA of 1.90. And of course, Lance Lynn on the other side for the Redbirds, well, he's got a handful of wins himself, along with 92 strikeouts. And of course, at the plate, both teams have struggled to produce runs against each other. St. Louis averaged just 3.8 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, during that time frame I just mentioned, the Pirates have been held to under 7.6 hits a game. Now, no real surprise here, 60% of those head-to-head gatherings I just mentioned stayed under the total. Meanwhile, 5 out of Paul Skeens' last 6 starts stayed under the total as well. Give me the under 8 runs. Next game, Padres, Nationals, 6:45 East. Washington's minus $1.25, totals 9 runs. DJ Hertz for the Nats, Randy Vasquez for San Diego. And even though Randy's numbers stink, the Pods did get the W in 4 out of his last 6 starts. They're also currently the best road hitting team in the game. These guys average more hits per contest on the road than any other lineup in the league. Jurickson Profar's got the most hits in the clubhouse, highest qualifying OPS as well. And Luis Arias, he's batting .316. And they're facing DJ Hertz, who's just 1-3 for the Nationals with an ERA in the 5s. And this Washington pitching staff has definitely had a tough time keeping runners off the base paths this year. The Nats are allowing nearly double-digit hits a game in the nation's capital. Now, 7 out of the Nats' last 10 gatherings with the Pods did get over the total. They actually allowed 60 total runs during that time frame. Give me the Padres plus 105 over 9. All right, next game, Mets-Yankees, 7:05 Eastern start time. The New York Yankees are minus $1.55, totals 8 runs. Luis Gil for the Bombers, Jose Quintana for the Mets. Now, Quintana does have 79 strikeouts and a respectable 1.26 whip. Of course, at the plate, the Mets are actually the second best road hitting team in the game beside, San Diego, which we just mentioned. They're actually averaging over 9.4 hits per 9 in their travels. Francisco Lindor, he's got the most hits on the roster. Brandon Nimmo with the most RBI. And they're taking on a Yankees squad who actually took the loss in 4 out of their last 5 Luis Gil starts. Of course, as a team, they've struggled against National League opponents. They're winning only 33% of their interleague home games. Now, 3 out of the Yankees' last 4 in the Bronx did get over the total. There were also 60% to the over in their last 10. Now, 6 out of the Mets' last 10 outings got over the total as well. Give me the Mets plus 1.5 over 8. All right, next game. Rays, Blue Jays, 7:07 Eastern first pitch. Toronto's $1.65 at home, totals 8.5. Jose Barrios for Toronto, Sean Armstrong for Tampa Bay. And I'll tell you what, the Rays have done a nice job, a solid job against the run line here recently. They covered in 6 out of their last 10. And they're also covering in 65% of their divisional road games. And they're going to take on Jose Barrios, who's recorded 7 losses with the Blue Jays this year, and he's got an ERA in the 4s. Now, I'll tell you what, the Blue Jays are also playing some pretty lackluster baseball at home. They've got a losing record in Rogers Center, and they're a bottom 5 run producing club at home. Now, 6 out of the Rays' last 10 ball games did fall under the total. Also 10-7 of the under against AL East opponents on the road. Give me the Rays plus 1.5, under 8.5. All right, next game, Reds, Braves, 7:20 Eastern first pitch. Atlanta's minus 245, total 7.5. Chris Sale for the Braves, Nick Martinez for Cincinnati. And even though Martinez has got himself some good numbers, the righty's only 3-5 on the season. Now, the Reds as a team, they continue to be one of the worst hitting clubs in the game. They're currently in the bottom 3 in the bigs in hits per 9. And they're going up against a 13-3 Chris Sale, who's got 140 strikeouts and a .95 whip. Now, of course, at the plate, the Braves love hitting the baseball at Truist Park. They're in the top 5 in hits per game on their own field. Marcell Ozuna's got the 3rd most RBI in the bigs, 4th highest OPS average. And Austin Riley, he's got an on-base percentage of .325. Now, injury-wise, Ozzie Albies is on the injury report. Michael Harris on there as well still. Keep an eye on both of those guys. 7 out of the Reds' last 10 outings did get over the total. Give me the Braves minus 1.5 over 7.5 runs. Next game, Phillies, Twins, 7:40 Eastern start time. Philadelphia is minus $1.60. Total is 8 runs. Zach Wheeler for Philadelphia. Simeon Woods Richardson for Minnesota. And the righty Richardson's recorded only 1 loss this year through 82 innings of work. He's got an ERA in the 3s along with a 1.15 whip. Of course, at the plate, Minnesota's been crushing the ball at Target Field. They're actually leading the league at the moment in hits per game at home. As good as the Phils have been, well, they've actually had a tough time in their interleague road games this year. They actually have a losing record against American League opponents away from home. Of course, at the plate, the Phils are striking out an awful lot in those road trips. Give me Minnesota plus 1.5, under 8. Next matchup, White Sox, Rangers, 8:05 East. Texas is $1.20 at home, total 7.5. John Gray for the Rangers, Garrett Crochet for Chicago. And as dominant as Crochet's been on the mound, the Sox continue to lose games for him. He's got 6 losses on the year, does not have a winning record, and a lot of that is due to some poor plate appearances. The Sox are the lowest run-producing team in the league. And they're facing John Gray, who's got 73 strikeouts and an ERA in the threes. And I'll tell you what, these Ranger pitchers have definitely been tough to hit against at home. They're allowing fewer runs a game at home than any other staff besides one. Now, Yates and Robertson, they've got sub-1 whips out of that bullpen. Chicago's last 4 road games on the other side all stayed under. They also went 8-2 to the under in their last 10 at any location. Give me the Rangers minus $1.20, under 7.5. Next contest, Brewers, Cubs, NL Central action here, 8:05 Eastern first pitch. The Cubbies are minus $1.20 at Wrigley Field, totals 8.5. Jameson Taillon for Chicago, Colin Ray for Milwaukee. And Rays 9-3 on the year with an ERA of 3.77. Of course, at the plate, the Brewers are a top 5 run-scoring team in the National League. Christian Yelich hits .316 with an OPS in the 900s. And Bryce Terang has 30 stolen bases with an on-base percentage of .330. And they're facing a Cubbies team who struggles against National League Central competition, divisional opponents. Out of 34 games against their divisional foes, the Cubs got the W only 13 times. And a lot of that has to do with the bats, or lack thereof. Chicago's in the bottom 3 in the league in hits per game on their own diamond. Now, 3 out of Milwaukee's last 4 on the road did get over the total. They also went 7-3 to the over in their last 10 at any location. Give me the Brewers plus $1, over 8.5. Next game, Diamondbacks Royals, 8:10 Eastern start time. Arizona's minus $1.20, totals 9 runs. Jordan Montgomery for Arizona, Alec Marsh for Kansas City. Now, the righty Marsh has recorded 7 wins on the year along with 84 strikeouts. And I do really think Arizona's going to have problems with this Kansas City lineup of hitters. These guys have been crushing the baseball at Kauffman Stadium this year. KC averages more runs a game at home than any other lineup besides one. Bobby Witt Jr. hits .341 with the 5th highest OPS in the bigs. And Salvi Perez is tied for the club lead in homers. And they get to face Jordan Montgomery, who's got a terrible ERA of 6.44. Now, the D-backs have also struggled with American League opponents. They took the loss in 7 out of their last 9 interleague road games. Now, 6 out of the D-backs' last 10 ball games did get over the total. 7 out of Montgomery's last 10 starts also got over the line. Give me Kansas City plus $1, over 9. Next contest, Red Sox Rockies, 8:40 p.m. East. Boston's minus $1.55, totals 10.5. Cooper Criswell for Boston, Ty Blach for Colorado. Now, the lefty Blach is just 3-5 with an ERA of 5.46. And pitching's definitely been a huge problem for the Rockies this year. They're dead last in strikeouts, dead last in hits allowed per game. And they're facing a Boston club who actually loves hitting the baseball away from Fenway. These guys average over 9.1 hits per 9 on the road. Rafi Devers, he leads the organization in homers and RBI. Of course, Jarren Duran, he's got the most hits. Now, 3 out of Boston's last 4 road games did get over the line. Colorado went 7-3 to the over in their last 10 themselves. Give me Boston minus $1.55, over 10.5. Next contest, more divisional games here. AL West action, Astros Athletics, 9:40 p.m. East. Houston's $1.25, total 8.5. Jake Bloss for Houston, Ozzie Beto for Oakland. And regardless of how Beto pitches here today, the Athletics give very low output at the plate. They're in the bottom 5 in hits per game. And they're facing a Houston club who's been pretty tough to get out this season. The Astros lead the major leagues in hits per game. Jose Altuve has got the most hits in the lineup. Yordan Alvarez with an OPS of 933. Now, 3 out of the Stros' last 4 road games did get over the total. They're also 60% to the over in their last 10 at any location. Give me Houston minus $1.25, under 8.5. Next game, Some more AL West action. Angels, Mariners, 9:40 p.m. East. Seattle's $1.75, total 7. Logan Gilbert for Seattle. Jose Soriano for the Angels. And Soriano's got a handful of wins on the year. ERA in the 3s. And out of the Angels' last 10 ball games, they successfully covered the run line in 70% of those contests. And they're now facing a Seattle club who really doesn't hit well. And, well, they don't cover the run line all that great themselves. The Mariners failed to cover in 6 out of their last 10. And once again, this is a poor hitting team at the plate. Seattle's got the most strikeouts at the dish in the league, and they actually average the fewest amount of hits per game. Give the Angels +1.5. And with that, folks, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup for the video. It's going to be Giants taking on the Dodgers. That'll be a 10:10 Eastern start time. The Dodgers are -135, totals 8.5. Landon Knack for the Dodgers, Jordan Hicks for San Francisco. Now, Hicks is just 4-6 on the year with a whip of 1.36. And this San Francisco pitching staff has struggled on the road. These guys are in the bottom 3 in hits allowed per game while traveling. They're facing a Dodger lineup who, once again, they are the best run-producing team in the league. Shohei Ohtani has the most home runs in the National League. Highest OPS average in the National League as well. And Freddie Freeman's got the most walks in the lineup, on-base percentage of .394. Now on the mound, righty Landon Knack, he's certainly done his part. The righty's got a 1.05 whip, ERA in the low 3s. Now, total-wise, the Dodgers did score 59 total runs in their last 10 meetings with the Giants. The over cashed in 80% of those gatherings. Give me the Dodgers -135, over 8.5. With that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Give me Baltimore -170, under 8.5. Guardians -135, under 9. I like the under 8 in the St. Louis-Pittsburgh game. San Diego +105, over 9. New York Mets +1.5, over 8. Tampa Bay Rays +1.5, under 8.5 runs. Atlanta Braves -1.5, over 7.5. Minnesota +1.5, under 8. Rangers -120, under 7.5. Brewers +$1, over 8.5. Royals +$1, over 9. Red Sox -$1.55, over 10.5. Astros -$1.25, under 8.5 runs. Give me the Angels +1.5, getting the job done for some run line cash. Give me the Dodgers -135, over 8.5 runs. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium site. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks, that chairman package I have, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. Gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. But most importantly, folks, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, folks, happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium site at patreon.com/BrockPage.